Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Saturday Night Locals. Episode 72, I believe, match review edition. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do all of these like this from now on. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know. But, yeah, I kind of like doing these as we wind down, with the Photon Galaxy stuff for now. But for this particular matchup, we do have the Vanquish Soul deck versus, obviously, me on the Photon Galaxy deck. And this is round 2 of Locals. So if you haven't seen round 1, I'll leave a link to it up in the top right. And opening hands, I have Galaxy 100, Emperor, Wizard, Jumper, Talents. And, it's a decent hand. We're really lacking extenders here. We really only have 2 methods of play. We have 100, and we have our Wizard normal summon. It's not too great in terms of trying to play through the board. The triple taxes talent is going to help as the deck. I think Vanquish Soul will definitely try to play on your turn in numerous ways, so it's not like the talent is going to be completely dead going into this. He's going to link into the Rock. Rock is going to special summon Raisin, and then he'll go ahead and get Raisin effect, and I believe we already know he has Continue in hand and Mad Love, which was, I think, balanced by Heavy Borger. So this is the one thing I always notice about the Vanquish Soul deck is they give you a ton of hand knowledge over the course of their turn, and you gotta really keep a little checklist inside your head. Okay, I know they have this, this, and this, and importantly, pay attention to what attributes they have in their hand of monsters. And he's gonna go ahead and summon the Caesar Valius to the field, which can pop a card by revealing a fighter, a dark, and an earth. So it's pretty good, or we can reveal an earth, just make it unaffected. And we draw a Vanisher for turn, which is nice, because that just gives us another way to play through potential interruptions. We're going to go ahead and normal summon the Jumper here, because if anything happens to it, right, if it hits the grave, we get something off of it, and it can kind of use 100 to maybe send something else. More importantly, though, it's just a level 4 body that doesn't really matter if it sticks to the field or not, because like I said, if it hits the grave, we get something out of it. So then we're going to use that as a mode to get our Vanisher on field. We're going to use Vanisher effect to go ahead and search Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and now we kind of got our foot in the door here. We got 2 level 4s on board, and we've got a couple different options. We could go for Blast Dragon, we could go for Galaxy Photon Dragon, whatever we want to do. But yeah, like I said, keeping a small checklist in the head for the Vanquish Soul deck, and just knowing what the known cards in hand are. And you can also kind of put it together like, the deck plays Bestials, a good dark hand trap. They also play Bell, good earth hand trap. They play Kaijus like the Dogeron, I believe, in some builds, or they play the Sticky String Kaiju because those are either fire or earth. And you also had to pay attention to zone placement as well. Like, I could have summoned my Galaxy Photon Dragon in the same column as his Caesar Valius to avoid some of the other effects of the Mad Love, as he goes ahead and summons that off the Rock of the Vanquisher, and now he searches the Dust Devil, and now he's going to go ahead and use the effect of Mad Love to bounce it back. So if I would have just summoned the Galaxy Photon Dragon in the same column as the Caesar Valius, he would not have been able to do that there. So that was definitely a big misplay on my behalf, because now I'm missing out on a search of literally any card, Galaxy or Photon card, in my entire deck, and that is a big thing to lose out on, especially in this matchup here. And like I said, at least we get to resolve Jumper. And if I had normal summoned the Wizard and gone for the rank 4 play, right, losing the Wizard to the graveyard isn't really the best thing. I guess maybe putting it there for a potential way to revive off of a summoner is not bad. And this is also one of the reasons why I think in my current build I still might be on 300 and a Foolish. But sometimes, like in situations like this, the Galaxy 100 Foolish effect loses a little bit of value, and this talent is going to kind of go in here. So I'm going to pause right now. But yeah, like I said, the 100 loses a little bit of value, because sometimes it's only as good as the things you can send and get in its effect. But I guess in that same light, shouldn't always look at it that one-dimensionally. Sometimes you should just look at it as a way to get any card in your deck, any Galaxy Photon monster in your deck, back to your hand. Because you still have to remember, at the end of the day, it's not about just dumping Emperor to revive it, or sending Jumper to get its search, or sending Orbital to equip with Regulus to play Therion. It's also sometimes about setting up Summoner and setting up Galaxy Eye Soulflare Dragon. So you can't always look at it super one-dimensionally. But we are looking at his hand with talents, because if I know one thing about this deck, the hand knowledge, the hand advantage is super, super important to the plays it's able to make. And he's got double Bestial. He's got the Caesar Valius, the Raisin, and the Dust Devil. And we knew that he had the Dust Devil. We knew that he had the Raisin and the Caesar Valius as well. And the double Bestial in hand really hurts because, like, I was like, I don't really care too much about other interruptions right now that he has, especially if we hit the Bestial. It means he doesn't have a Dark to be able to, you know, use the good effect of Caesar Valius, which is, you know, what we want. And it turns off a way to interrupt us because Bestials are very good against the Photon Galaxy deck, you know, hitting your summoner targets, hitting your trance targets, right, hitting Emperor, it goes on and on, or your Soul Flare add backs. It's very, very good hand trap against the deck. And so I was like, oh, it was great to look at the hand here, but it's really sucked seeing 2 Bestials in his hand. So I was like, all right, we're obviously not hitting Magnamut now because he just has another one. So we have to hit like one of the best starters / extenders in his hand, which is the Raisin. And still at the same time, you know, that will turn off, you know, potential interruptions from something like Caesar Valius. So that is what I decided to end up hitting here. And I'm going to go ahead and play the video right now. So yeah, reveals the hand. Looking at my hand, you know, we got Wizard, we've got Trance, we've got Galaxy Eyes, we've got Emperor, we've got 100. And I think at this point, I was still playing 2 Emperor, which, you know, is alright. It's just, it's a trade-off sometimes. Right? You don't always want to draw the Emperor. That's my biggest thing with the Emperor, is I just don't want to draw it. I'd rather just be sending it off of 100 or Galaxy Photon Dragon in like 99% of situations. And that could, the other Emperor in my hand could literally just have been anything else. And then we just use the 100 to send the Emperor here. But we are going to activate 100 now. And I think I'm trying to bait out the Bestial in his hand because we need the Trance to resolve here to be able to do anything. And he lets the Emperor resolve, which was kind of shocking. I was like, okay, so now we're really kind of cooking here because now I can get the additional normal of the Galaxy Wizard. And yeah, we still don't have a level 8 Photon Engrave, which we do need if we want to go for a really strong Trance line to be able to get Afterglow out of the deck. That's one of the main things that you need to be able to actually go for a true OTK with this deck, is you need Afterglow, which means you need a level 8 Photon Engrave, which we don't have. And you can see right there how a Bestial would have hurt so much. Now, granted, there is something else we could have done. If he Bestialed that Emperor there, we could have Trance to bring out Jumper and Summoner. And then we could have made Galaxy Photon Dragon and send the Emperor anyways, and then additional normaled. So we could have done it that way, because there were still 2 Emperor in this deck. Well, no, he would Bestial on the effect engrave, so he wouldn't get that. We'd have to, yeah, I don't know how that would play out. That wouldn't be very good for us, that's all I know. But we're gonna normal summon the Wizard. That's gonna just tag out for Expedition, and just keeping it simple here, Expedition's gonna go ahead and bring out Afterglow, and we still again have Trance in the back pocket now if we need to, in case we get interrupted here. And we're gonna go ahead and overlay into the number 62, and then I go into C62 as well because he has multiple monsters, and just in case it's not game. You know, want to make sure I have like an insurance policy, if you will. Which I don't even really think I need C62. Like, this should just be guaranteed game here, even without C62 attack, because we can only attack over the highest attack monster he has on his field right now because of Rock of the Vanquisher. So that's another thing you have to kind of keep in mind. We're not just swinging over a 0 attack monster because it does have other, you know, text on the card. So we go to the battle phase, and start of the battle phase, we can activate the effect, and it is going to be able to attack up to monsters he controls up to 3 times. And what's nice about that is, like, if we attack over the Caesar Valius, right, we clear that. We attack over the Mad Love, we clear that. And then we can attack over the 0 attack Rock of the Vanquisher, which I think is where my thought process was going, right? I can attack over that, and then hit over the 0 monster to make sure it's, like, exact game. And I guess, like, C62 does, like, play around some things because it does happen in damage steps. So if you're worried about certain things, like, you can always just do 62 and it's in damage calc or damage step. It's one of the two, and it's a little bit safer sometimes. So yeah, then we're gonna go just activate the effect and detach, and we are going to attach Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to it. Otherwise, it is not going to get that bonus effect of being unaffected by monsters, and then also gaining the attack of everything it has as material times its level / rank times 100. So it's gaining 24 from the 3 materials. So it's going to 64 plus doubled is 12,800. Attacking over the Valius is definitely more than enough for a game. And yeah, he just kind of held the Bestial there for the next game. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We head into game 2. And I was pretty shocked that we ended up winning that one, seeing that the double Bestial in hand, even though it was still 1 Bestial. But the fact that we couldn't just hit one to clear that interruption was kind of rough. But he just never ended up using it. But he doesn't really know the deck super well. So, I mean, fair enough. Now, going to game 2 here, our hand is looking a lot better. Like, we have a lot more ways to play right off the rip. Like, we have Regulus and 100, which is one of my favorite combos to open. The Thrasher is nice because it's just a free body that lets us, use a lot of our cards. The one thing I don't like about Thrasher is it just doesn't get you any advantage back. But it's kind of a necessary evil, I feel like, in most builds, if not all builds, just because it is a starter, because starter in this deck is usually just a way to get a body on field without using a normal summon, right? So, like, because you want to make, like, Vanisher live, you want to make Orbital live, you want to be able to use your Emperor, all these other things. You want to be able to use Expedition. In order to use certain cards like that, you need to be able to get bodies on field. You want to go through your rank 4 engine into Galaxy Photon Dragon, so I like Thrasher quite a bit. And it is also, like, kind of nice sometimes in the battle phase, just, like, early out, just forcing some things. He is at 2100. So I think he ended up normal summoning Raisin there, searching, and then tagging out for Mad Love, or Borger, rather. The Borger reveals Mad Love, draws a card, special summons Mad Love off the Rock of the Vanquisher here, and is going to go ahead and search the Dust Devil, I believe. Last time he ended up searching out the Continue. That really didn't work out super well for him, so this time he was going to go ahead and search out the Dust Devil, and that is basically Book of Moon, up to the number of Vanquish soul monsters you control with different names, and we draw another Regulus return. So I was like, okay, this is a little awkward seeing the second Regulus, but it is what it is. I think this was also before I was playing Disc Coliseum, which is a big mistake. If you're going to play the Therion build, don't play 3 Regulus like I was doing. It was stupid of me. I should at least played 1 Disc Coliseum, because Disc Coliseum is literally crazy. Just makes your end board just so much more robust. So now we're going to special summon the Thrasher, because you just got to get it out on the field first. It's a little awkward, as opposed to things like Advancer and Vanisher. Advancer is just terrible, just because it says only if you control a Photon monster. So that's what makes the card unplayable in my eyes, because you can't use it when things like Brave. You can't use it with things like Brave. You can't use it with things like Galaxy Soldier, Summoner, or Wizard. Bad card in my opinion. I think Thrasher and Vanisher are just the best. So we use the 100 here to send the Orbital. We try to summon out Regulus, and he uses the Druid Worm on the Orbital target. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Regulus still summons out. It's a ruling I still remember back when Therions were like first coming out, when ABC Therion was super popular, right? If Regulus's equipped target doesn't get attached to it, or if it gets banished, Regulus will still summon. So it doesn't matter there. And I go effect of Galaxy Soldier, discarding Summoner. It kind of hurt to discard Summoner here, just because, like, searching out Summoner right now would have been good if I had been discarding, like, literally anything else. So now I'm kind of thinking, like, what I want to grab off this. Still have a normal summon, keep that in mind. So that is really huge. And searching out, like, Jumper here would be nice, but we cannot search Jumper. This is one of those weird situations where you have to, like, find a bridge from just Galaxy stuff into your Photon cards. Like, we would have had that play had our Orbital not gotten banished by the Druid Worm, so now we kind of got to, like, do a little bit of a detour. That's kind of what happens sometimes when you get, you're only just using Galaxy cards. Like, you just have Soldier Search, or you just have Wizard Search, right? You really have to do a lot just to get to your better cards like Jumper and resolve those, or get to Orbital, especially if you have like Photon or like Therion stuff. So here I think I was thinking about just linking off for Soul Flare to add back the Summoner, then to normal summon the Summoner and bring back either the Thrasher or the Soldier, and then using Summoner to make the Soldier level 4 if I need to, if I don't bring back the Thrasher, and then going for Galaxy Photon Dragon. And I really had to think here for quite a bit, because I still know that he has the spell set, the Dust Devil, and I mean, I do have the Regulus to check that, which is good. But also, I believe his other monsters are in defense position, which if we go for C62 shouldn't matter, because so long as he only has 2 other monsters on field, we should be able to clear those first. And the Druisworm is not an issue because we have C62 ideally with Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon underneath it, making it unaffected by our opponent's monster effects. So in theory, all of that's working out very, very well for us. But he does have 2 set back row. We know one of them. I don't believe we know the... Oh, we also got hit with Droll and Lockbird. My camera was pointed, I think, a little too far down, so I apologize that we missed that there, but we do see it now. I think we got Drolled very early on, which I think I was debating on actually negating, because I think I had Regulus up. I was debating negating, and I didn't do that, because, you know, I was like, maybe I can get something going here if, you know, if I hold the Regulus. But it is what it is. And he ends up bouncing back the Regulus. I think he did that with the Mad Love. Yeah, and then we normal summon the Summoner, bring back Soldier, and then he uses the book spell there. Yeah, I could have swore Mad Love only bounce something in its column, but I might be thinking of just Raisin and Soul Pantera, so I could be misremembering that. And then that means I take back what I said about in the first game about summoning Galaxy Photon Dragon in the wrong zone. I don't think it would have mattered. Dark Earth, return 1 monster on the field. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. With the lowest defense on the field, your choice of Tide. So nothing I really could have done there. Like, maybe negating Droll was the play, but I don't know if we were going to play through a bounce, a Bestial, and the Dust Devil. That was just kind of tough there, because again, we didn't really see any side deck cards. We just saw all non-engine, or all engine rather. So we're going to game 3, and I do decide to go first because we are a go first deck. I always like to go first with this deck. I know some people say, oh, you should go second. It's just not as good as it sounds. Like, it only sounds good on paper, and then when you actually play the deck going second, it's so bad, because at least in my build, like, unless you are really just a mad lad, like, you could like build a deck with a ton of non-engine and just like pray that you draw engine, because at that point you're just gonna have like no extenders in the deck and not enough starters, and you're just gonna be bricking left and right, at least from personal experience. But like, I just like to go first with the deck when I can. Like, I think the deck is at a point now where the boards it puts up going first are just a lot better than they are going second, because going second, like, you really only have like 1 or 2 lines. It's like go for 62, and if that gets stopped, try to go for C62, and you don't really have any other way of OTKing. Like, those are your big OTK buttons. Sure, you can like use Afterglow to boost up like you know, a number 90, or to get a bunch of rank 8s on field, not a bunch of number monsters, and then Afterglow. But like, you're just asking for so many things to go right. And especially with like a lot of the best boards, like Cash being the best, like one of the best decks still, like, you're not doing that through a Rise Heart, and you're not doing that through something like Shifter, or like the Manadome deck, which is just turn skipping you. Like, I think it just makes more sense to go first. So we trade in the Brave, and then we Rhoda for Jumper, normal the Wizard, grab Galaxy Soldier. So now we're in a good spot. This is a very, very good spot. I wanted to set up Galaxy Soldier, discarding Jumper. We had to use a couple cards and effects to get there, making it a little awkward, right? You had to use a card to get a card. Like, use these 2 searchers to get Jumper, use the searcher to get Soldier, and then Soldier pitch Jumper. And I think I went Chainlink 1 Soldier, Chainlink 2 Jumper. I think that's what I ended up doing there. I probably should have done it the other way around. I probably should have done Chainlink 1 Jumper, Chainlink 2 Soldier, because I think having the Jumper resolve for, like, again, in terms of like getting hit with Ashers, and I think having Jumper resolve is more important in this particular situation than it is the other way around. But we do get a search of a Galaxy monster, and we do get a search of a Galaxy spell or trap. And I think Eternal Galaxy is in the main deck. and because I did side it in. And this is the one tough thing about like playing this card. Like I really liked it in theory, and in practice a couple times it actually ended up being nice. But like there's always like this confliction in my head where it's like, okay, I want to do this one play, but if I do this, that means I'm not getting to search Eternal Galaxy like I want to here, right? Or I'm not searching like the normal extenders like I want to. Like I feel like I have to like force myself, like make a completely different line to go for the Eternal Galaxy. But I think I figure it out with this one. So we get the 100, and we got Summoner, and 100 dumps Emperor. Emperor summons itself back out. We're like past the Bestial check here. And then we normal summon Wizard. I was just like hoping he didn't have a Bestial. Normal summon the Summoner. That brings back Wizard. So we've used our additional normal summon here. And bringing back Wizard off of Summoner is like huge value. So I'm thinking like, okay, if all of this can go through here, like I can probably set up number 90, and I can probably set up Regulus, and I can set up Eternal Galaxy, or set up number 38 Regulus, and then get Eternal Galaxy for number 90 in case we get Dark Ruler, right? So we're gonna go use Summoner, target Soldier, make the rank 4, and also at this point we gotta think about like what extenders we have left in deck, and what cards can we actually search here that have value, and getting the Orbital made the most sense here because right, we already have Regulus in hand, so why not just do that? I was going to say we could just go for Vanish there first, but we could also just dump Orbital, which gets Regulus on field, and then Orbital gets us Vanisher, which we can make a level 8 with the help of Galaxy Photon Dragon. So that's exactly what we do. I love doing this like setup where like you'll get Regulus on field, you'll have used Emperor, and then you're getting that Vanisher search off the Orbital from your Regulus. And then you already have a rank 8 play set up here just for free with the Vanisher becoming a level 8 now because of the Galaxy Photon Dragon. It's such a clutch effect that it has to make something level 4, level 8. I wish Summoner could make things level 4, level 8. The card would just be like that much better. But now we can go and do a rank 8 here. And I think I decide to go for number 38. And I go for number 38 not because I think it's like the absolute best card to go for in this situation, but it's because if I'm gonna get Dark Rulered, right, I'd rather the number 38 and the Regulus get Dark Rulered as opposed to number 90 getting Dark Rulered, because number 90 is just like the backbone of the deck. That card is so important. So yeah, I searched the Eternal Galaxy off the Wizard, our last sort of search there. We've got Talents, we've got Trance, we've got halfway decent follow-up here, and we're safe from Dark Ruler. We're safe, right? I'll use that term pretty loose, but it is what it is. And if we need to rank up at any point, if he doesn't have Dark Ruler, it'd be pretty easy to tell that if he does or does not have Dark Ruler. Because like if you have Dark Ruler, you're probably just using it right away, unless you like have some effects you're positive the opponent isn't gonna negate some like really like low value stuff. Some low value cards you want to use first to try to like bait some stuff out, I guess. Yeah, it's probably usually just gonna be the first card. So we normal summon Soul Raisin, and I'm like, okay, this is like one of the best cards to negate in this deck. There's very few windows, but negating the Raisin effect to search for any Vanquish Soul monster is definitely one of those cards to negate. So I was like, I'm not gonna hesitate here. We're just gonna Regulus negate that. It doesn't destroy, unfortunately, which is really bad because now you can just like link it into the rock if he wants to. And this is the point where I was like, all right, now I probably should rank up into number 90 here. And because if he wants to like link into rock, like I have a hard negation for it now. And then I think on summon I used the effect because also again like he could still have Dark Ruler at this point. So I want to go ahead and get my follow-up search here as well. And what do I add here? Do I add Jumper? Because this is also one of those situations too where you have to remember that like Jumper, I attached the Afterglow. I see why I did that. I think I did that just because I can get an additional body off of the number 90, detaching the Afterglow, and then that triggers the 100. So like if he links a rock, I can negate and destroy it and then rip another rock out of his extra deck. So he only has one left, which is like still like probably enough. I don't know, that was weird of me to attach that there. I don't think I should have attached that, because now the trance in my hand has less value. I definitely think that was a misplay. I think I probably should have attached like jumper, if anything, or just added jumper, because that's like a battle fader, right? So he's gonna go ahead and use Heavy Borger, and that is going to bounce back Raisin, and I don't negate that, which is also interesting. And then he's gonna use Heavy Borger effect to draw, and I negate that, and then he emits defeat because he has double Mad Love Droll as the 6. So very, very unfortunate hand for him there. Fist bump, GG's. Yeah, pretty cool match overall. It was nice to see that the Eternal Galaxy actually come in clutch there. And you could see again that if he did have Dark Ruler, how at least having a number 90, which is a search, negation, you know, be able to rip the extra deck with 100 by getting the Afterglow, right? Like it's all very good stuff to have, even through Dark Ruler, right? It's not the best, but it's better than nothing, of course. So that is going to do it for this episode of Saturday Night Locals. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Like and sub if you haven't already. As always, we're going to kill signing out. We'll see you in the next one. And like always, I want to give a special shout out to our current Divine level channel members who are Green, Pony Stark, Cadillac84, HCH Cyber, and Mizfid. Thank you guys so much as always for your very, very kind and very generous support of the channel.